What's going on, lads? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to look at some of the best easy to get to hidden bases in Ark Genesis Part 2. This video is going to focus on locations that you can find on the left side of the map, and for the most part I'll be avoiding mesh locations and focusing on spots that are easy to get to and geared towards the beginning and mid phase of the game. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe to support the channel. It really does make a huge difference and I really appreciate it, and let's see what we got. First location you can find in the bottom left of the map, and it's right behind this waterfall here. Now, this is a pretty small area, so you're only going to be able to breed like small dinosaurs and things like that, and you're going to have to keep most of your dinosaurs in cryo. Good thing is that you can build in the water without like risking drowning yourself, and you can very easily build up here as well. And because the water is so dark, if you're outside the waterfall, you basically can't see anything at all, especially if you're far away. And it's pretty unlikely that someone would get super close to a waterfall since there's no resources nearby. But yeah, this entire floor is buildable. You can build up here on the left. You can build up here on the side, you can build up on the ledge here. This next spot you can find on the left side of the map again, like all the other ones, on the 50 lat line. And there's a few of these spots around the map, so you don't have to go to this one in particular. It's just the one I decided to show. And it's basically just behind these like pillar things that run along the wall. Wherever there's relatively flat land behind it, you can build a base there, and people basically have to be right on top of you to be able to see your base. And this is normal ground, so of course you can build here as much as you want. And these walls work for cliff platforms to extend the size of your floor. And there's a full other level up here that you can build on. There's not a whole lot of room here, but there's definitely more than the last one. It's just very narrow, but that's also what helps hide this spot from other players. And from the outside, you literally cannot see anything at all. You have to be like legit on top of the base to be able to see it. This next base can be found on the top right of the left side of the map at about 26.6 and 41.6. And you have some options with this one as far as where you build. You can give yourself a lot more space at the cost of making it easier to see, or you can build deep down and make it almost impossible for an enemy player to find your base. So it's just tucked away back in this corner, and you can do cliff platforms, you can do foundations. You are basically not limited at all as far as how you want to build. The only thing with the foundations is that you have to build on the actual rocks. You can't build on the like metal structures. But if you decide to build your base really far down here like this, players have to like come back into this little cubby to be able to see anything at all. If you want to build multiple levels to give yourself a bunch of room, that actually up above it pushes out a lot more, which makes it easier to see from outside of the cubby, which we'll see in just a second. My favorite part about this spot is that the rock above you is connected to the world border, so there's no chance for people to come in from above you or to snipe you from up there. They have to come in from this one direction, which means you can focus all your turrets on this one spot. And on the ground, you're not going to see anything at all. You'd have to like actually come up here to see anything, which is insane. This spot's so strong. This next spot is going to be a little different from the other ones I've shown you. And you can see it here on the top left of the map. And it's actually not on the ground, it's up at the skybox. You can see that little like divot in the rock. That's where you would actually build the base. Now, this isn't hidden in the conventional sense. The thing that hides this is that it's going to be out of render distance for people that are on the ground, but it will, one, be more challenging for you to get to, and people that are on flyers, there's a much greater chance that they'll find it, although I don't know if they'd actually be looking up here. You'd have to be pretty unlucky for that to happen, but there's a good amount of space here that you can build on. This is all completely buildable, and then even the cliff of the face is buildable, which we'll check out in just a second. You can set up multiple levels here if you want. You are definitely gonna have to work with the skybox though, because your space is very limited, but you can build out here on the cliffs. You can use foundations, platforms, which means you can set up all the defenses you need and have more than enough space. Just make sure your dinosaurs are on passive, otherwise they'll get kited off if you get found. But yeah, there's a lot of places along this cliff edge that you can place platforms that'll extend the size of your base. Placement is a little bit finicky, so you will have to work with it a bit, but it absolutely is possible to put platforms down here. It might just take a few seconds to find a spot that works. All right, let's take a look at what people will see from a distance. So if people are on the ground, there's literally zero chance that your base is even going to be rendered in, so you will never have to worry about that. They will absolutely have to be on a flyer for them to even have a chance at seeing your base. And it's about at this distance, depending on their settings, that they'll be able to start seeing structures here. But that also means that they're looking at the side of the map skybox instead of at the ground or whatever direction they're trying to fly into to actually notice your base. So there's a decent chance that you won't be seen, at least for a good long time. Plus this is on the skybox, which is, I mean, it's just cool. That's why I like it. The last space can be found in the very top right of the left side of the map. And this one is absolutely my favorite. I love this spot. It's so cool. It's like a meshed rat hole spot, but it's not. It's still like in the map. So to actually get into the entrance, you're just going to fly to the left of this like mountain thing here, to the right of this pillar, right up against the world border. Then you just fly straight down into this tiny little hole here. And here we are. This is the spot right here. That's literally the only entrance into this little area. You're not meshed, but you are super protected. Like, you could easily block off the top and dump all your turrets to protect that one area, and you're Gucci. Now, just like all the other spots, you can use cliff platforms to extend the range of your base, but you cannot put foundations on the metal structures that are a part of the map. You have to place them on the rock walls or extend them from the platforms that you place. One of the things I like most about this spot is that, for one, there's enough vertical space for you to build multiple levels and to have plenty of dino storage space. So like, if I was building here, I'd have my standard level where like I have all my daily use stuff, and then underneath I'd put like my valuables and stuff like that, stuff I want to keep hidden and protected. Out on the map structure, I would have my dino storage and breeding, and then I can place more platforms above for more storage space for whatever I need, or to put turrets on and to block off the entrance. One interesting thing I found is that if you put a foundation down next to the rock wall, I was able to extend that out onto the metal platform underneath where this cliff platform is. So that might be able to help you extend the size of your base. Or you could even use all of this bottom space for dino storage and breeding, and then build your base on cliff platforms just above it, coming off the rock wall. Then you just build another layer on the top to protect your base. And you can completely block off this entire area with 2 cliff platforms, so that there's no entrance at all. Or you could use 1 cliff platform and some basic structures to leave yourself a little entrance. And I mean, you literally have to be like on top of it to be able to see it. Even from this close, you cannot see anything at all. You have to fly almost directly above it, even if you're building at the very top to block off the entrance. And you can easily just build slightly lower to make it even more difficult for people to find you. All right, lads, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe to support the channel. It truly does make a huge difference. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.